Peace. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do hip hop album reviews. I did a couple of them back in June, but unfortunately they were too long for YouTube, and I tried just doing it on Vimeo, but they were too long. And YouTube they only let you do like 15 minutes per video, so I probably do like maybe 5 or 6 albums at a time. So I'm gonna do it like in parts. You know what I mean? So it could be appropriate for YouTube or whatever. But without further ado, the first album I'm gonna review is Lot of Darkman's The Heist of the Century, was released in 1998. I was lucky to find this. I found this at FYA in Boynton Beach, which is like 20 minutes away from where I live, 25, whatever. A little history about Lot of Darkman. He first got to start back in 1996. He came out with a single called I Want It All, and that was really big on the underground. It got him noticed. RZA got signed. He's a Lot of Darkman is a Wu affiliate, by the way, or was. I guess RZA heard the song, and cause Carlos Brady, who did stuff for Shabazz the Disciple back in the day, produced the song I Want It All, and he RZA heard it, I guess, and then he liked what he heard, so he signed a lot of Darkman to Wu, to to the record label or whatever, and in 1997 and 1998 he released Heist of the Darkman, and that song I Want It All is on this album. It's actually the last song on this album. This is a pretty solid album. If you're a Wu fanatic or a Wu head or a hip hop head, you must have this album. It's out of print, unfortunately, but I was lucky enough to find it. I saw it for $14.99, and the songs that it's known for is City Lights, Spring Water, Heist of the Century, As the World Turns, stuff like that. It's a pretty solid album. If you're a Wu fanatic, this is a must-have. Second album, that's actually his first album, is J Love Egotistical Maniac. This came out a couple months ago. For those who don't know who J Love is, he's a DJ, a mixtape DJ from New York, from Queens, Richmond Hill to be exact. He first got his start back in 1994, and throughout the whole mid to late 90s, throughout today, he's been putting out a lot of mixtapes, and he's like one of the few mixtapes DJs that actually blend in their mixtapes, because nowadays a lot of mixtape DJs don't blend in their mixtapes. And I'm gonna say this is his debut album. The reason I say that is because yeah, he's put out a lot of albums, but then I consider those more of mixtapes, and they'll have like original songs by Jay, like solo songs by J Love, but they wouldn't, like, the whole album would be like like stuff like from other people. So this is actually like the first album that he had like was just him, the original songs. So that's why I call it his debut album, and it's a solid album, and it's a 2-disc album. I caught it when I was in New York early this year, back in July. In August, excuse me. It's a solid album. I liked it. If you're a fan of New York hip hop, you like that boom bap hip hop, you'll enjoy this. Next album is Lil Dap, I Adapt. For those who know who's Lil Dap, he was part of the or he is part of the group Home. That's affiliated with Gangstar. He first got his start back in 1992. His first appearance on Wax was, excuse me, I'm the Man off Gangstar's Daily Operation 1992 album, Daily Operation, classic album, must have that in your collection. And then in 1995, they came out Group Home, Living Proof, which is also a classic by many. And I think it's because of the beats. Not to say that they're not lyricists, but they're not the greatest, but it's definitely listenable. And if you like Primo's beats like I do, and like I'm pretty sure everybody else in the world loves his beats, you would definitely like that album. Then they came out with Tear of the Ghetto. The album was pretty good. And then you have this album, I Adapt. This came out in 2008. It's a pretty solid album. I liked it. He does most of the production. Like it has like a mid to late '90s vibe to it. You would definitely like this if you like that type of shit. As at least I do. Then you got Temple of Doom by DJ Doom. For those who don't know DJ Doom, he's a DJ from DJ slash producer from Brooklyn, from Bushwick, Brooklyn. He got his start back in the early '90s. He's done a lot of stuff back in the underground, but his I believe his first appearance on Wax, as far as like production credit, was a song called "Stay Alive." On Arson's second album, Date of Birth, which is a dope album, which I don't have in my collection, unfortunately. But this and this is his debut album. They came out with back in July of 2011 of this year, and notable singles is Hey Young World, Blackistan, which I did a review on my other review, but the ones that was long, that's the one I did it on. But this is a pretty solid album. If you like 12-bit gritty hip hop, boom bap, you definitely enjoy this album. Reks, R.E.K.S. This is his self-titled album. I forgot what number album, but this is his latest album. This came out last year, 2000. Was it 2010 or 2011? Or whatever. This album came out. It's a pretty dope album. For those who don't know who Reks is, what the album's called, Rhythmatic, Eternal King Supreme. For those who don't know who Reks is a MC from Boston. He got his start from his back in 2001. He released an album called what's that shit called? As the World something. It is a crazy title, but that album was actually out of print, and it's very hard to come by. But he's affiliated with Static Selector. I know everybody who knows Static Selector. He's put a bunch of albums. Reckless, Gray Hairs, More Gray Hairs, and this album, and a whole bunch of other albums that I can't think of off the top of my head. But this is a pretty solid album. This album, the singles off this album is 25th Hour, Kill 'Em, This or That, Why Cry, and I believe Cigarettes. Pretty solid album. Have this in collection. And I actually met Reks a couple months ago. He had a concert down here in Palm Beach and Lake Worth, to be exact. Pretty cool dude, man. Like, definitely put on a dope show. He's definitely dope live. I definitely would recommend seeing him, checking him out. Reks, cop this album. The Main Source is Lost Professors Group. Main Source, Breaking Atoms. This was released in 1991. For those who know who Main Source is a group from New York, Queens to be exact. The only Lost Professor. Everybody knows Lost Professor is. The only two people, these two guys, they're from Toronto, whatever. But I guess they moved to Queens. But anyways, this is their first album. They first got their start in 1989. Came out with this album. This album was known for the singles as Just Hanging Out, Looking Out the Front Door, Just a Friendly Game of Baseball, which he talks about police brutality. Is a pretty dope concept of his song. Pieces Not the Word to Play, Live at the Barbecue. That's like the biggest hip hop single on this album. Like, that was Nas's first appearance on Wax, and he kills that shit. Everybody else did, but the one that most stuck out was Nas, especially the shit that he was saying, like when he said verbally my rhymes are iller than the AIDS patient, shit like that. Like, come on, this is 91. Who says that at that time? Alright? Hopefully I got room for a couple more. Bear with me. Cormega Special Edition. This came out in 2004. Um, it pretty much is a double disc album of people that didn't get the Realness album or the True Meaning album. Pretty solid albums. These are two dope albums, hip hop classics. This is a must have. Queensbridge, Cormega, Special Edition, 2004. Got the infamous Blood Thicker Than Water, Volume 1. This is their second album. For those who don't know what Infamous Mobb is, they're a hip hop group from Queensbridge. They're Mobb Deep affiliated. Um, it's a pretty dope album. Dope songs. It's a solid album. The cool thing about this album is that it has a DVD. It comes with a DVD, which is 2 hours long. So it shows you like they give you a dope tour of Queensbridge, and like it shows like where they grew up at, like what they've been through, a little history. You get to see everything like as far as like where they played at as kids. They talk about Screwball. For all my Queensbridge, my duns out there, they would know about Screwball. Especially if you love Queensbridge hip hop like that as much as I do. And then it also shows like in the special features, it shows like Prodigy doing an interview, like an 11-minute interview, and also see Alchemist doing an interview as well. Pretty solid album. Black Sheep. This is a second album, Nonfiction. This is, to me, I actually like this album better than A Wolf. This came out in '94. I actually like this album better than A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Because this has like more of a jazzy DITC type of vibe to it, and I love DITC. I'm a big fan of them. I'm not knocking the first album, but this album is very slept on. It got very ridiculed. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty dope. So that's it for now. Here's more to come. Peace.